with my mom, whenever there's a situation dealing with a lawyer or dealing with a firm, and there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know. You need an attorney to help you kind of break down the language of these contracts or whatever it is that's going on, because we don't know the law. We think we know the law. So you need someone to kind of put it in terms that you understand.
My only child, Miguel Marrero Jr., who was 20 years old, he was accidentally shot and killed by one of his friends. And it was kind of, I won't say coincidental, but it was really fate that brought me together with Charlie and Amanda and the rest of the team.
So Hurricane Isaac took off the front of my business, and I thought I was covered through my insurance agency with disaster interruption insurance. And so I had a really great set of employees, and they had all dealt with damage from the hurricane also, and I didn't want to lose them. When I thought disaster insurance would kick in to help them pay, it didn't.
I was involved in an 18-wheeler accident in the Baton Rouge area. I was rear-ended. I suffered low lumbar area injuries. The medical bills were piling up, loss of wages, unable to provide for my family at the time. It was a critical time for me at that point. It felt like the walls were closing in on me. And Stephen basically laid down everything that he could provide as far as the legality procedures, and it was all good after that.
From the onset, Charlie was amazing. I explained to him just briefly over the phone, the very first initial consultation, what was going on. And as I was talking to him, he was inputting data into the computer. He was referencing the case, and he was giving details that I didn't have to rehash, which was great.
Charlie Thomas also worked on this case, and he was my contact person, and he was always available. He always kept me informed as to where we were on the progress. If my board had questions, I could contact him. He was quick to respond.
The other attorneys that I spoke with, they couldn't meet the needs that I felt that I needed to have met.
And Charlie and the attorneys over here heard of the problems I was having and offered to step in and help, and that was just so valuable.
I was referred to Stephen Huber by a friend of mine, and basically they gave me the green light and told me everything that I needed to do to pursue my case.
Trying to run a business is one thing, and then trying to physically put a business back together and keep your employees together is enough to fill 28 hours in a 24-hour day, and I didn't have time, and my insurance agent wasn't doing it for me, so they stepped in and just took that one thing off my plate, and it was just the best thing ever. I don't think I would have been able to come back from that devastating loss and be where I am today if they hadn't come in and just fought for me for months on end, and I am so grateful for it.
When I called, Charlie was kind of startled at first because he was like, "Ms. Warren, how did you find us? We don't advertise." And he said, but we do have the privilege of being able to cater more closely to, a specific clientele. In other words, we can handpick people and select people who we want to work with.
Well, when I entered the office, he greeted me well and made me feel at home, made me feel like all of my needs that I had questions about were basically what he could provide for me.
What I like about the firm and what I know she's getting is the personal relationship when she calls in. Like Miss Teresa, when she answers the phone, she wants to talk to her about her day and how she's doing. She knows her. She asks her about her grandkids, which she loves to talk about, and I think that's important.
He basically just told me, I'll come in, I'll sit down with you, I'll explain everything in person, and if at the end of that session you don't want to go with us, we're okay. You don't owe us anything. You're not in any binding contract, but we want to let you know what we're able to do for you and hope that we're the best fit. But if we're not, we'll make sure that you get the best fit. In that particular situation, it was very fresh. I had just recently lost my son, and that meant the world to me.
They were there for us. They never left us hanging. We were always told what part of the process we were in. And they always gave us good advice, even when it came down to the end, negotiating and deciding when to accept the settlement amount.
When I first sat down with Charlie, I mean, I had just had papers spread out across the desk, and I was just so nervous because I thought I was just gonna, take this huge financial loss. And as a small business owner, every dollar counts. And so Charlie and his team sat there and went through everything with me, and it gave me a sense of calm. And they said, okay, this is what you can get. This is what we're gonna get for you. This is what we're gonna do. Are you comfortable? And every step of the way, I was fully informed. I had a phone number, a direct phone number for someone that I can call and answer a question at any time, day or night. And they were so responsible with emails, and I can't tell you how much that means to me, because you get lost in these bigger firms sometimes, and you just become a number or a client where they have a very personal feel.
They just attended to me as if they had a personal stock or a vested interest in it, and I really think that they did. They were concerned about me as the person, not just the client.
Everybody here is, they have time for you. They make you feel like they have time for you. They reach out, they return calls. I mean, you're not being treated like another client, another business. It's not just another docket. It's personal service. What do you need? This is how I can help you. This is what's best for you. It's not, I don't feel like I'm speaking to somebody who's trying to fatten your pockets. I feel like that I'm speaking to somebody who's trying to make sure I get the service I need. Whatever the question is that needs to be answered, that's what's important.
Having someone there fighting for me for the money that I'd already spent, that was mine, that was owed to me, because it is just a great peace of mind to know that, they're completely honest and upfront with me with every single detail. I knew everything that was going on. They gave it to me in information in language that I can understand, because I know nothing about all this legal jargon and insurance stuff. I just want to run my business. They actually got me more than I expected, and way more than my insurance company originally was going to give me.
Amanda and Charlie and this firm were hired as my civil attorneys, but they were there through the criminal part of the case. Amanda showed up at all of the hearings, and her and Charlie told me that they are now our family attorneys. We should consider them our attorneys for life. Until the case wraps up, they're gonna stick with us on the criminal end. They had already done, full scale what they contracted to do with me for the civil part, but even after they got the money and the settlement, they were there because they're sincere about helping me. And it wasn't just money that was gonna help me.
It's definitely a family feel. It feels like everybody here works together and tries to raise everybody else up that's around them. It's a great positive vibe.
I feel if anyone wants a family-based environment to be treated like someone and not just a number, I would choose this firm.
I would recommend this law firm to anyone because they have been very, very good. In fact, we are like family.
Whenever my mom has an issue, she's gonna call me and we're gonna discuss it. But when it's a law issue, I don't trust anybody else but my mother.
They were avid about taking care of me, the person. And again, that's priceless. I can't pay for that. If I would have given them $1 million, looking back years, I'm gonna have peace because I know I had somebody support me right after this tragedy happened. And you can't pay for that.